What's going on, guys? So I'm very excited to introduce an old friend for new viewers. If you watch my videos for a long period of time, you know the deal with that knife right there. A lot of history right there. This is the Evans Companion, Evans Knife and Tool. My favorite all-time neck knife. Absolutely love this thing. This has been, through the ringer. This was on the side of the road for a couple months when I lost it, and I found it, which was a miracle. And I refurbished it and continued to carry it, and I was very happy. And I had like a little epiphany in life, and I had a close friend, and I wanted to gift it to him, and so I did, and he was extremely appreciative of it. And very soon he's going to be passing this along to his son. The short version of the story was he liked it a lot, and he put in a pre-order for the Gen 2, which is supposed to come out. That's a whole side story. But the guy making these had a lot of problems with the company that was supposed to help him out, and it's not my story to tell, to be honest, but there was one roadblock after another. A lot of people wanted refunds, but in the end he was able to make it. A lot of money came out of his own pocket. He lost a lot of money in the deal, but he did hold true, and he was able to fulfill the orders that weren't refunded, and my friend got the new one. So now he has the new one. He's going to give one of them to his son, which is really cool. But he had offered to lend these to me if I wanted to do a comparison, which I greatly appreciated and accepted. That's why we're looking at them right now. Now, as a side note, I did a trade already for the new Gen. I just don't have it here. I have it at a different location. I have a handful of knives that I keep elsewhere, a little bit more expensive stuff, just so that my whole knife collection isn't just in one spot in case of robbery or theft or something. But eventually I will have a lot more use on the new one. Right now it's kind of a sneak peek. I'm borrowing his, and I've used these two for the last couple of days just to get refamiliarized with them. I've used them kind of interchangeably around the house, and to be honest, they feel exactly the same. The only real difference between the new one and the old one is the steel choice, which we're going to talk about a little bit here. So first, let's take a look. Oh, by the way, the sheath is different as well. The old style sheath compared to the new one. My friend had said that, he does prefer the old sheath over the new one. I didn't carry this, I only use these around the house, so I don't have a preference, either way. They both seem to work. But yeah, so as far as the design, they're identical. It's the same knife. There is one thing that I did notice just in using it, and I didn't notice it right away, but after, doing a lot of cardboard cut tests, I noticed that the old one had a little bit more of a flatter rest. The spine here just seems a little bit on the flatter side as opposed to the new one, which is a little bit more rounded. So on the left is the new one. You might be able to tell that the center part is, the glare is a little bit thinner, and that's because it's more pointed or rounded as opposed to flattened. Okay, but besides that, these are almost completely identical designs. Where the jimping part ends, you can see on the left, comes to more of a point. Again, that's because it's more rounded, as opposed to the one on the right, which is a little bit more flattened on the spine. So in using these, I just felt it, that's all. I was literally cutting some cardboard with this one for a little bit, put it down, grab this one, cut some cardboard for a little bit. Now, one quick note as well, the old one here has these Jade G10 scales. I had a variety of scales that were made for the original one here, but I don't believe that the scales are for sale anymore, and the Gen 2 I think came standard with this carbon fiber. All right, so if you're kind of curious as to the handle scales, I don't know. If you guys have more information on it, please feel free to post it down in the comments, but I don't know of any specific source for scales. Now, obviously, if you know knife makers, they can, take the scale off and mimic it and make, different custom ones, but I'm talking direct from Evans. As far as performance, they seem pretty much on par. However, the big difference is these original ones were in S35VN, and the new ones are in 20CV. Okay, so the one thing I can definitely say is S35VN is one of my favorite steel. It probably is literally my favorite steel just because of the experience I've had with it. I have far less experience right now with 20CV than I do S35VN. However, the limited experience I have with the 20CV, it does seem better. It does seem to last even longer. If you are a fan of 20CV, this is like the cat's meow right now. This is the top steel, or at least among like the top 2 or 3 steels that are available out there. If you are a fan of M390, some people don't know this, but they're pretty much the same steel. I think literally the only difference between 20CV and M390 is like how much silicon is in the steel, but it's the same makeup. Everything else is identical. It's just made by two different companies. That's why they have two different names. So just a little random factoid there. All right, so if you like 20CV, you'll also like M390. They're pretty much the same thing. So after reusing these for the last couple of days, I am extremely excited to get a hold of my other one and bring it back home and start carrying it. Now, I feel like I'm cheating on my cold steel spike because I love it so much and it is so capable, but the spike, I mean, what's awesome about the spike too is it has a zero edge. All right, it's got like a Scandinavian style grind on there, so it comes to a really fine edge. However, that can't beat the 20CV that is in, you know, the newer version of the Gen 2 here. All right, so I will take the loss of length for the steel performance. All right, it shouldn't make a huge difference as far as, you know, my daily chores that I do with my neck knives. I do strap up the cold steel spike every day. Whenever I actually use it, when I get home, I just do a couple passes on either side, like literally 5 or 6 on bare leather, mind you. I don't use compound. I just use the bare leather on a strap. And it just stays razor sharp. It's amazing. It's awesome. But I know on paper the 20CV will do much, much better, and I just miss the way this feels. It just feels so nice in the hand. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I mean, I've always recommended it, and I can definitely recommend the new one. It's everything it used to be and some. Even better steel, same design. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty darn cool. If you guys have the opportunity to ever pick one of these up, I would definitely grab it while you can. I have no idea, because of all the trouble that came out of making the second one, I have no idea if the maker will ever make knives again, to be honest. I had brief contact with him. He was very, very busy because he has a life, and then the knife stuff's on the side. It's not like he's a full-time knife maker. But yeah, that's, we'll see what happens in the future. I happen to love this. I think it is my favorite, all-time favorite neck knife. And the new one's it's even better just because it has a nicer steel. So again, a huge thank you to my friend for loaning these to me. He was just about to give it to his son, and we were talking about it, and he wanted to know if I, wanted a chance to try them out again, do a video kind of comparing them before it goes to its final destination. And I'm very excited, again, to start using this. And in the future, perhaps I'll give a more detailed, video on 20CV after I have much more use on it. It will be my daily neck knife, so I'll have plenty of use months from now. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.